for the moment, we're hanging out here on the Mana Symbol channel. We just had a delightful conversation with the one and only Pi Gonti about what we should be doing to our sweet Iceberg control list in Modern. But at the moment, what I'm about to do is play this deck that yes me, Zach Ryle, Mana Symbol, 5-0'd with in a Modern League. I know it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. So this is BTL Kiki Valki. This deck originally came from the one and only Davius Minimus, the innovator behind Enigmatic Incarnation. And he constructed this deck as a way to house the Restoration Angel Kiki-Jiki combo in a new shell. This one taking advantage of both Bring to Light. So Bring to Light is, of course, famous from the 5-color Niv Mizzet deck, and for not being able to stay in the same spot on my stream where I want it. So this card is 3 green-blue. It has Converge, and it says search your library for a creature, instant, or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. Exile that card, shuffle your library. You can cast that spell without playing its mana cost. So that synergizes wonderfully well with Valki, God of Lies, i.e. Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter, giving you a backdoor way to get Valki into play as Tybalt. So for 5 mana, you get this crazy powerful Planeswalker. Then on top of that, Bring to Light can also tutor for Restoration Angel or Kiki-Jiki, as well as our one of Magus of the Moon, Knight of Autumn, Scavenging Ooze, or Charming Prince. The reason we have Charming Prince, Auriok Champion. The reason we have Charming Prince in the deck is, of course, to hyper synergize with Urian, but also works well with Knight of Autumn or Wall of Blossoms or Wall of Omens. And we have a couple Omnaths in here as well. We're in the right color combination. Omnath is incredibly powerful. We've got some Teferi Time Ravelers. Gives us some flexibility against control decks and some of the mid-range decks. We've got some Eternal Witnesses. She can help us recur, Bring to Light, or pick up combo pieces that die. Really anything. Skyclave Apparition, one of the best pieces of interaction in Modern. Freed mentions Primal Command. We've also got a one of Primal Command. So this card is not super common in Modern. So it's from the same command cycle as Cryptic Command. So you choose 2 modes. Target player gains 7 life, fairly useful. Put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library, surprisingly useful. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library, it could be useful. And search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Exceptionally useful in our creature tutor toolbox kind of deck. So Primal Command is a card that I have not got a full grasp on the power of. Maybe someday. So we will do our best to see what flexibility we can have with it. It's a one of that I don't frequently bring to light for. I did win the final match that I played last night on the 5-0 with it. So it's hard for me to say that it's poor. But it's certainly a little bit questionable. It's certainly more expensive than a lot of the other things we've got going on. And then sorry about that. And then we do have 2 copies of Eldritch Evolution in this deck. So Eldritch Evolution is a 3-mana card sorcery, and it says we sacrifice a creature and we search our library for a creature with converted mana cost up to 2 higher than the creature that we sacrificed. So if we sack a 2-drop, we can get a Restoration Angel or an Omnath. And if we sack any of our 3-drops, we can get Kiki-Jiki. This is a very, very powerful way to tutor up a piece of the combo. Freedmania mentions BTL takes the spot, I guess, usually see Court of Calling. I would say the innovation that is this deck, and Davius has had a good track record with it. I've had a reasonably good track record with it. The innovation that is this deck is Cord takes a lot of resources to get Restoration Angel, Kiki-Jiki, etc. going. And against decks like Burn, Prowess, Blue-Red Prowess, Shadow even, these walls that draw you a card are super useful to do that, but that's a great command, Roy. Thank you. You can have your resources whittled down, plus get beat up by Thought Season, etc. So I think Bring to Light it has a higher floor. The worst Bring to Light can be is often a lot better than the worst that Court of Calling is. It's not an instant, but being able to Bring to Light for Valki is an incredibly powerful line. Also, Bring to Light introduces the idea that you can sideboard things like Crumble to Dust or Fiery Justice as one-ofs that you could then Bring to Light for to cast in post-board games, which has been fairly relevant, as well as it allowing you to tutor for creatures. So I have played some of the Court of Calling decks. I've played some of this deck. Yeah, and I have you can cast it as an instant with our 4 of Teferi Time Ravelers, which I will do fairly frequently if given the opportunity. So I think it's mostly just that it's different from Court of Calling, and I think in some cases better, but time will tell. I did win a game during the matches last night where I turn 3 after playing a Utopia Sprawl and a Birds on turn 1 and then turn 2, was able to turn 3 Bring to Light for Valki, which is pretty great. BTL is dead against the Teferi, but we do have flying creatures. Kunoros, yeah, Kunoros is tutorable with Bring to Light, so that has some value. Decisoin is our opponent here. I think that's correct, Pi. Especially in a deck that's not playing Chord. I won in my 5-0 last night. I won at least 2 matches where I had to mulligan to 5 or 6 in all of the games. So apparently this deck mulligans a surprisingly large amount of the time, but you can persevere through it surprisingly well. I'm going to bottom the Abundant Growth since my colors seem really good in this hand and everything else just sort of draws me a card for value. I'm going to Vista for green, and then the Misty Rainforest can get me something else. Yeah, Pi, I think in general right now, Wall of Roots is good, but if you're not like a dedicated combo deck, and we don't have that much to do with like extra mana. So like if we produce even more mana than what we have, really all we need to do is hit 5. And then the thing that lets us go like crazy bananas is Omnath. And like Wall of Roots giving us 1 extra mana on an Omnath, like compared to Omnath, is like not that good. Oh, also the draw walls synergize with Urian out of the sideboard. So there's a bunch of different ways that that's relevant. Kunoros is half of Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, it's symmetrical. I know, it's crazy. Turns out the gods are just. I play bad decks right on time. You can run with that but rain. You can't glide. How you doing, buddy? You're not playing a bad deck. We're playing quite the good deck that I 5-0'd with last night. Hope your stream went well, friendo. Also, I believe I missed saying hi to you, Alex. Hello, Alex. I misplayed and clicked wrong cards a lot. So the normal stream. I feel that, buddy. Are we not against prowess? This person's just spent like over a minute tanking on their turn 2, and I have no idea how to process that. Opt. Okay, so this is like Storm. Yeah. Could be as foretold. Seeing Serum Visions and Opt, my gut reaction is Storm. Storm is going to be a pretty poor matchup, especially with this hand. Just storming. Just storming. The nice thing about this deck is that you do have the out to get the Kiki Resto combo together. And I cannot emphasize how good that is in Modern. Now, I don't like it, but it's very good in Modern. You really want to have an option to just end the game on turn 4, 5, 6. I love playing dirtily controlled decks that don't do that, but it's very rare when those decks are actually good in this format. Yes, I see your combo and I call. Opponent with nothing but cantrips so far. Nothing but trips.
It's hammer time!
Look, Ma, all cantrips. Hi, Ma! Get off the dang roof! Hey, I can call my Ma from here. Cat combo is bad versus 4 main deck Auriok champions. I believe that is true. Sleight of hand. Are they playing Pyromancer's Ascension? Oh. Because the opt is not normal in Storm. I don't think it is. I'm not sure what we're up against, but I'm a little scared. And but not the fact that they drew 4 or 2 already is a little crazy. I think you spelled Pyromancer's Ascension right. Oh, maybe it whispered to you. I hope not. Snapcaster, let me know if the bot actually whispered to you properly. Oh, no, there it goes. Well, oh no, that was because of Roy. Oh, I have to do the thing, right? All right. Oh, it did whisper. Okay, good. Good. All right. I don't know what they're up to, but I'm definitely going to Resto Angel this turn. And the biggest reason why is that if we draw BTL or Kiki-Jiki, we can just end the game next turn. So in theory, I have 2 draw steps at that. Also, they have 2 basic islands in play, so there's no point in doing that. I won. No, we went 1-1, I think, Jiggy. I can't remember if I won the last game. In both matches, we went to game 3. I won the first one. I think Dan won the second one. What the hell? Yeah, I think Dan won the second one. It was great. It was great. That format's great. Auslander is great. Flame Slash. What if you didn't, though? I have no idea what this is. I really have no idea what I'm up against here. But I'm going to Resto Angel my wall if I'm allowed to. Yeah, Jiggy, I need to try your deck, but I'm definitely going to sign up for that tournament and try to prep for it. Also, my personal vendetta is to push for people to start calling it Auslander. For the love of God, just call it Auslander. And call it 7-point Highlander. That's way too confusing. Again, just one tiny human's opinion who's barely associated with the format, but Auslander. It's Australian Highlander. Basically, what it means is you're not likely to play it in Victoria, eh? What did I say? What did I fucking say? Did I say? I can't. I played the wrong land. I needed to play an island to do this. All right. So we screwed up, and by we I mean me. But maybe they're not gonna kill me. Also, maybe I should just BTL for Valki here. No. So Eidolon is not in my main deck. Did I really? Yeah, I did. So this taps for red and blue. Or sorry, red and white, and this is white and this is red. I needed to play Misty and go for an island here. I can BTL for 4-drop or lower. The most relevant which is of which is Valki. Magus turns off Cryptic if they have it. I'm not super worried about Roy. I'm not super worried about Valki. If I'm gonna Abundant Growth, I really don't think I can do it till next turn. Sorry, what I mean is I need to fetch out my last color for the BTL and then I just have no idea what they're up to. And none of the cards in my main deck hose anything I think they're likely to be doing. So if I cast the BTL, what we're gonna do with it is go for what we're gonna do with it is go for Valki. My other option is cast Magus, but I can cast the Abundant Growth first. So let's do that first. And we're going to put it on basic in case I play Magus this turn. Yeah, I'm not sure we're dead either. I have no idea. I'm nervous, but only because I keep thinking my opponent's playing Storm. Yeah, Urian into my hand is likely. I'm going to play the Abundant Growth first because we might cantrip into something better than what we have going on right now, although I'm not sure what that could be. Interesting fact is that I fucked up by not playing an island this turn or a blue source off the Misty Rainforest, but I did have the triple red available to natty draw a Kiki-Jiki. Flame Slash doesn't scream Storm to you. I agree with that. Magus makes it more likely to resolve BTL next turn. Sure, but then how do I get all my colors? Okay, that's one answer. So if I go float a green and then go 1, 2, 3, can play the Magus, and then I have any color, white, green, red. Yeah, that works. Okay. Anyone who saw the pain on my face just there, that was me trying to do the mana math. Because I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. Yeah, I could imagine we see them playing Teamer of One Mind Pyromancer here. I want this resto to live and be on the board, but at this point I really don't have any input on that, so... Do I think that's a thing in the ice deck? It could be. I'm not worried if it is. Because we have Teferi and to bring to light. I shouldn't be worried about my opponent playing Storm or anything that's literally going to kill me next turn, but I still am. So I gotta figure out what they're actually doing before I start making play decisions that make sense in any way. Fun fact. Yes, Freedmania, but it also put 2 decks into the top 8 of the same Pro Tour that Jerry Thompson won with Mardu Pyromancer. So while Young Pyromancer and Thing in the Ice don't play nice together, they put 2 people in the top 8 of a Pro Tour. So you tell me if that's good enough. I believe that it is. Because the idea is that only one of them is going to survive at a time. And if you're flipping your Thing in the Ice, you don't care about bouncing your other shit. And if your Thing in the Ice dies, well, you're happy you have the Young Pyromancer creating tokens. I mean, Jiggy, you're joking, but like that is real. Yeah, exactly. It's like you expect a good chunk of your threats to die. Wow. Where's that going? They're bolting my res. So am I getting a 2-for-1 on Resto Angel just existing? All right, see you, Snapcaster. Sorry that a chunk of your time hanging out on stream was consumed with non-actual play content. But I do hope you found it valuable. I certainly did. Yeah, they seem to be on some kind of very fair deck. Night, Shauna. Oh. Well, I suppose we could always do it the long way around. They are down to 3 cards in hand. Well, we could always play Teferi first. Blue, white, 1, blue, white, 1. Yeah. I think I can do that. No. I can only play Teferi once this turn. So if I would like it to resolve, it's got to be Mana Leak that they have here. I think I'd rather try to get this Teferi going than anything else. If it does resolve, we can just put Urian into our hand. See you, Tartan Scarf. Thanks. I don't know if we'll end up playing Bant tonight, so it might be bumped till tomorrow. But we'll see. Opponent has been slow to respond to every single thing I've done so far, so this is not unusual. That's a really good question. Spell Pierce. All right. I'm fairly tempted to bounce their Young Pyromancer because it at least means they have to spend mana to get back to sort of parity. Obviously, bouncing the Abundant Growth is going to cost me my last mana. It is going to draw me 2 cards, but it doesn't get me closer to winning the game, which is what I was looking for. If I bounce the Pyromancer, they can still attack through and kill my Teferi next turn. If I bounce a token, then in order to attack my Teferi... Yeah, if I bounce a token, then they have to attack with the Pyromancer to kill this Teferi next turn, which means my Magus can trade with it, which I am 110% okay with. Especially with that draw, because that means I can BTL into Omnath and then BTL into Valki. Which, if they are playing any kind of fair deck, we're kind of gonna just win this. Yeah, Freed, we could have taken your line, except they have a burn in their deck. Like, not a little, so... Well, we can plus the Valki, like... Can I add a Niv Mizzet so we could leave the dream? We certainly could. If you were going to add Niv Mizzet to this deck, you might change some other aspects of this, but it's possible. What dream are you trying to live, Larynx Punchworthy? Mike, I don't understand that at all. You could win with almost anything you submit. So I don't know why you're afraid of submitting Niv Mizzet. Michael, my friend, if you can win games with Pox, you could win games with Niv Mizzet. Oh, buddy. Ladder anxiety's real. All right. Roy, are you here? Can you throw up a poll? Because of the people here, I care about the opinion of a percentage of you more than randos, but I don't know a better place to poll some of the people. Well, we had multiple people go to sleep, but I'm just interested in the data. Actually, I can probably do it, right? / poll. I can do that. Yeah. Cool. Oh! Right, I just drew an Omnath. And I haven't played a land yet this turn? Good. Do I want to hit them for 4? Nah, I don't really care. Oop. Alright, you got an instant speed flame slash opponent? They do not. Cool. Trigger. Trigger. We got a new poll. I exiled a Terramander off their deck. All right, I will cast that. Scary Terry. You're all gonna die, bitch. Sorry about that, bitch. All right, we got a new poll in chat. Read it. Read it and vote if you care about my content. Also, feel free to criticize me for even bringing up the topic. So I currently have all of one instant or sorcery in my graveyard. So this is it's a little expensive. A little bit. I did actually try playing it the other night, Mike. I'm not. I am not. Much less than a Diablo clone. It seems like a really bad Diablo clone. Which, if I was going to play one of those, I would play Path of Exile with some of my wonderful real life friends from back in the day. You can run, but you can't glide. I know you're doing that. You can run, but you can't hide, bitch. We hit Lightning Bolt and Voice of Resurgence. Well, that's not too bad, huh? I've never touched the game, Barwick. But yes, it's a Diablo clone. If you're describing it as a cyclonic sucking of life, then it has succeeded in being a Diablo clone. And or, World of Warcraft. So we can evolution for Kiki and just win. That's... I don't really want to sack my Omnath, so I'd rather BTL for Kiki. And then have Resto to flash in. So now, what happens is I get to clone one of my walls and draw a card. And then even if they kill my Kiki-Jiki, we get value out of it. Plus, I can flicker it once. Wow. Okay, cool. You're not going to kill it in response. Oh, okay, they're just dead. Got it. Nice. My opponent spent 15 minutes on game 1. Excellent.
It's all over, people. We don't have a prayer. Ah!
So this card seems really good in this matchup, and then this seems okay. It's probably all I want. Auriok Champion seems really good. I'm going to keep that. Magus seems generally poor. And then Knight is not great. Scooz is not great. Scooz is probably worse than Knight in this matchup. They seem fairly light on creatures. Oh, although they are playing Terramander. Using Scooz to deal with Terramander seems loose. You can get the new Faithless Looting art altered to be brown instead of red, and the cup into a coffee mug, and it could be the art for Faithless Brewing. You like cutting evolutions against counter decks. Do we have any proof that they are a counter deck, Larynx Punchworthy? I guess they might be. And that definitely makes sense. I guess... I guess... Rue gets me so badly, you bastard. Oh my god. I guess Path to Exile is something I kind of want. You'd be wary of Blood Moon. I mean, we just Magus'd ourselves last game. Ourselves. But, yeah, we can watch out for Blood Moon, which I guess is an argument for keeping Night of Autumn. I think I'm happy here. If we do see counter magic in this game, I guess I'm worried about playing Eldritch Evolution into it, but I'm not. I don't feel like that's a huge risk. Really, Barwick, what is your deck? Can I keep this? I'm on the draw, right? I'm gonna keep this. Oh, awesome, Barwick. I got this deck from Davius Minimus, who, as I said, was the inspiration for, or the inspiring force behind the Enigmatic deck, who was a Niv pilot who is very sort of inventive. And then this was another deck that he's been playing recently that he's had great results with. And I hit a 5-0 with it last night. It's definitely really, really solid. Now we play this Birds of Paradise and we never draw a land ever again. Yeah. We can definitely draw this out. My opponent's taking forever to do anything. They took 50 seconds to play Island Delver that turn. I mean, I'm not looking to win on time normally, but this opponent is taking forever to do anything. So, which is just hampering the content creation. So, I'll take the win. Thank you. I play enough bad decks where I have to take losses. That's a very fine looking fugitive wizard you have, opponent. I don't know, Jiggy. It's like going to a PTQ and chalice checking your opponent, right? Like, is it sporting? Yeah, kind of. You both spent $30 to enter some gigantic tournament. Like, for the love of Christ, they better know how to remember their chalice trigger. If it's their first time playing in a major event, well, I guess they'll learn like everyone else did. Land, please. Untap land specifically. Ow! So good. It's so good. Jiggles McWiggles PhD. Can I just tell y'all what a relief it is to have my client and my computer responding at a reasonable pace while I'm streaming? Streamlabs OBS is a cancer upon streaming. It's the cancer, and I am the... Jiggy, what cures cancer? For anyone who may have thought that was insensitive, that was a Simpsons quote directly. Chemotherapy. It does its best to mitigate the symptoms. Nothing yet. Yeah, I mean... I think when we say a cure for cancer, we mean a cure for the blanket concept of that type of autoimmune disease. Is it actually an autoimmune disease, Jiggy, or is it like a type of DNA mutation? Yeah. It's a disease. Okay. I know it causes a creation of tumors from a DNA mutation. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Jiggy Wiggy is not only a doctor, but he's a doctor of biology of some discipline. Whereas I'm a mere baccalaureate. I want to say that's the right term, but it doesn't sound right. But it sounds mostly right. Holder of a bachelor. Wall of Blossoms or Sprawl? I'm going to Wall of Blossoms because I'm greedy and I'm definitely going to draw the land. Interesting that my walls have no effect against my opponent's all flyer board. But we hit the land anyway, so we are very, very good at this game. I need to get a forest to put the Sprawl on it, which means I can't... I can set up for Omnath next turn if I put this on blue or red. Blue is much more widely applicable. Also, these 3 lands can play Teferi, and then this land could be used for something else. Awesome, Jiggy. Awesome. I might be dying to a Pteramander, because it is currently 3 mana for them to supersize it. Yeah, Skybonk is going to be great here. Okay, so they're not supersizing it. Yeah. Did I know Emrakul, the promised end, was $40 heckin' dollars? I did not know. Is that Sky Pie? Oh, Skybonk. That's adorable. Yeah, Jiggy, the last league I played with Iceberg on stream, we died twice. Both our losses were to decks that played Emrakul against us, which was pretty rough. Okay, so we'll see if we draw land here. We did not. I think I'm just going to pass and Resto Angel on their turn. If they go to combat, they've shown us Flame Slash, and they've shown us Spell Pierce. But they haven't shown me anything that's going to kill my Resto Angel at instant speed. So Resto Angel's going to pop in, slide one of my walls, draw me a card, and block and kill the Delver, because the Pteramander should be a 5/5 at that point. The walls can block the Pyromancer and the Elemental, so I'm probably taking about 6 next turn. We could easily die, but... Yeah, Emrakul seems reasonably well positioned right now, Freed. So one of the decks I died against was the Manamorphose Titan deck. So that was a Titan deck that was playing Emrakul. So certainly a thing you... Opponent activates their Pteramander, then casts Sleight of Hand. I'm wondering if they're digging for like a bolt to kill me, but they didn't need to do that until after combat, so I'm not sure. If I had to hazard a guess, I would assume my opponent is new to Magic the Gathering Online. And I'm not criticizing them in any way, shape, or form for that. Just saying their clock management is abysmal. And their play is reasonable, I guess, but... I don't know, Freed. I don't understand it either. I don't even know why you would want to play Manamorphose in that deck at all. But they're doing it. So, like, oh. Alright, we're going to die by Xaxes because of Vapor Snag, which is kind of crazy. So we take 3, 5, 1. Yeah, it's a 9. However, my opponent has 3 minutes to win game 3, so... Well, they played Spell Pierce in both games, Mike, but yeah. Maybe add some paths? Yeah, I probably should have. Well, the big difference from last game is this hand is good. Because we go Vista for Forest with white, then tap Breeding Pool into Charming Prince. Having Valki in my opener is not the best, but yeah. I mean, they flipped it pretty early, and they were able to transform their Terramander, or evolve it, adapt it. So I'm not, you know, yeah, I don't love losing to Delver either, but like decks that play Delver are definitely the kind of decks that beat me, so I don't feel terrible about that in general. Don't want to deploy Valki. It's probably wrong, but I kind of want to save him and just see if I can end up casting him later on. It also really is not a great move to set up a Sprawl on black or fetch for black early, Mike. I think that's probably generally a poor choice. I can't get my Triome with this. We have a Breeding Pool in hand, so out of all the things I want, it's either red or black. Red is much more useful overall. I'm just going to assume that I'm going to get to the Valki later if I need to. Yeah, I would like Teferi. No, I don't really need an island. Oh, Spell Pierce off the top. Well, we know we're not going to deploy Teferi next turn. Unless they tap out for whatever reason. Then I will Teferi their Delver. I will Teferi that Delver so fast. If they play PZ, it's really good for me. Which is, I think, why they didn't do it. I have to shock for the resto? I think it's probably worth it. If I get to resolve the resto, this game is going to go really well for me. Because that should kill the Delver plus slide my Charming Prince. If they want to kill it with removal... Yeah. They should have to use at least 2 cards on it. They might have Vapor Snag again, but that's not going to be as bad here because it's not lethal yet. Well, that was super unfortunate because they still have the Spell Pierce in their hand. So I'm probably jamming Teferi into that. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because I don't have double white for this Skyclave. Spell Pierce me, baby. Nope. Alright. Well, we got to draw something because my hand has nothing right now. Unfortunately. Yeah, I couldn't fetch with Sacred Foundry with Misty Rainforest last turn. Or on the turn where I fetched there, I couldn't get Sacred Foundry to get my double white. Which is part of the reason we're stuck where we are right now. Well, I mean, it mostly comes down to, does this Teferi resolve or not? If it doesn't, I think I'm probably dead. So, yeah. We couldn't draw land to play Bring to Light, which also would have gotten Spell Pierced. So we're probably about to lose to Delver plus Burn Spell. But as I said, I'm not totally shocked to lose to a deck like that. They have 4 cards in hand. I can't imagine that I live here. Yeah. All right. Super duper dead. They win with 15 seconds on clock or so. I mean, I'm happy that they won it for them. It was a really unfortunate loss for us in game 2 and 3. But you know, what are you going to do when your opponent has the flip Delver on 2 or Delver and Terramander on 2 and 3? I think it was 2 and 3, 2 and 4 maybe. I mean, I'm not happy to lose their Larynx Punchworthy, but I 5-0'd my league last night in a bunch of ways that I shouldn't have, so we lose to a blue-red Delver deck. It's not the end of the world. They had that Death Shadow kind of draw. I mean, yeah, there's no justice, but there's also no justice, which means sometimes I get to 5-0. I did my best there, so like, you know, I think when you play Magic, it's not good to expect anything. Probably just swapping out Skyclaves for Paths would have done it. I would never swap out Skyclaves for Path, but Eldritch Evolution for Path I probably should have done. Almost anything for Path I definitely should have done, because they were very light on threats. Not always, Jiggy. I'm just having a good day, or I'm tired, you know? Either way. I don't know, they had so many cards in their hand. Like, they ended that with 2 extra cards in hand. It wasn't like that was particularly close. We ended with multiple cards we couldn't cast. Game 2, we also had a sort of clunky slow hand that we just barely scraped by with, and then we ended up losing, which was not too surprising. So, I don't know. Definitely not keeping that one, though. No, I agree. I definitely mis-sideboarded in game 2 there. This hand is much better. I'm just going to ship the Bring to Light. Yeah. And compared to Prismatic Vista, these Wooded Foothills are generally worse fetch lands in this deck. But depending on what we're up against, we might want to fetch semi-painlessly in the upcoming turns. So having access to Prismatic Vista is really good here. This gets me blue or white if I needed it. I'm definitely jamming turn 2 Teferi here against polluted Delta deck. And since we occasionally want double white, I'm going to fetch the basic. Now this cannot get a Steam Vents, which is slightly awkward, but there aren't that many red spells in this deck, so hopefully we're okay. They might be on Force of Negation. Looks like they're not. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card with my Teferi immediately. Even though I could end up playing the Abundant Growth next turn, there's a chance they're playing Eliminate in their polluted Delta deck. This could be Shadow or the newer GDS builds that are kind of Delvery. If they shock this, I'm assuming it's like a GDS Delver deck. Yeah. I would like them to tap that and show me that they wanted to play some instant that they know they can't play now. Damn. Yeah. And that's fine, because I would rather have drawn the card off of it now than not. Snow-covered island. Okay. Could be some crazy Snow Delver deck. In either case... So I think I'm fetching Temple Garden. I'm going to play Sprawl here on blue. Put Abundant Growth here. Yeah. Oop. And then we're going to play a Voice of Resurgence, most likely, and at minimum, that should give me an extra token next turn if they try to counter my BTL. If they... Yikes. I did not want this card in this zone, but that's all right. Oh, opponent. Oh, opponent. I don't know. I cannot remember the last time my Voice of Resurgence gave me a free token, but I'm excited. They're gonna go Mountain Anger of the Gods. I just know it. I just know it. Barwick, if that's true, that's going to be the second red-blue deck in a row we've played against where the person seems new to Moto. No, okay, so it's some kind of Grixis deck. Snappy. Goes for Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's my Voice of Resurgence? Please? Interesting. Alrighty then. So I can BTL for 5 this turn. Unfortunately, because the Valki is in my hand and they have 2 basics in play, it's not very good for me. I think I just go for Omnath. I'm going to attack first. If I draw a fetch land, I really don't get to do much with it at all. Probably should have BTL before I attacked, actually, for the extra damage, among other things. Black, green, white, blue, and that means this must be red. I mean, it doesn't have to be, because I'm not actually going for 5 colors, but I like to do 5 colors if I can go for 5 colors. No, I definitely should have done this before combat. We would have gotten more damage in, but c'est la vie. I also could have just gone for like Witness to like, I don't know, generate value. Doesn't seem particularly appealing to me. Scoos. That's not the worst draw. So if I had done this before combat, they'd probably be at 9. They would have taken an extra 2 damage. So we'll try to keep track of that as we go. See if it ends up being relevant in the end. Jace Vryn's Prodigy. You got it. All right. Well, that's a hand. Can I can play Tybalt next turn? I could. Okay, let's plan for that instead. That just seems like fun. Oh, also I'm swinging for lethal. Enjoy, opponent. Whee! Jellybean smash! Jellybean mad! Nice. Nice. Voice of Resurgence. Occasionally bonkers. Sorry, what? Okay, then. So if their card in hand is Cryptic Command? They can tap my shit during combat? And but then I'll just use my skews to eat their graveyard. All right, that works. So let's try to go combat. They might have just been passing there because they think they're dead and they think there's nothing they can do about it. Freed, you seem like an intelligent person. I think you know exactly where the black would go on a 5-color Omnath. It would go to his head, obviously. Damn, there's some big elementals, I tell you. Alright, I'm gonna let that resolve. Exile it. Then we'll go post-combat. Then we'll grab Urian. And play a Sprawl. Put it on, I don't know what. Seems good. Dams is some big elementals, I tell you. I tell you. Can't let them sanctuary the cryptic. I'll do my best. Kaldheim Swamp is pretty sweet. And the island for that matter. This poor boat. Jockelops. Isn't Wildfire modern legal? I feel like Wildfire is modern legal. Obliterate definitely is. Not so sure on Wildfire. It certainly could be. Do they have another one? Your opponent. Another one. Do it again. I fucking dare you. I fucking dare you. Oh no, I wasn't serious. Archmage's Charm. You want a 1/1? Alright. If you insist. Not gonna save ya. But go on. Drown it. Oh, aye. Right then. You're not quite dead. But you will be. Oh, you will be. Smash. Which one do you want to block? Really? So, you've chosen death. Yeah. Although I suppose I'm denying myself the ability to cast the Tybalt Cosmic Imposter that I was intending to. But, you know, still cast Urian. Oh, or we just win. Are they 62 cards? They might be. Are they? Because I saw that deck running around a bunch. Like, it was in multiple 5-0s. Was a Grixis, Luris control deck with Valki, Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, Snapcaster, and 62 cards for whatever baffling reason. I think Veil... I don't really think I want anything other than Veil here. Auriok Champion, while technically kind of okay here, is not great. Knight of Autumn, definitely not great. And then Magus is... I feel like that draw from them was not normal. So maybe I'll just take out an Eldritch. Yeah, they're it was Underwater Bimbo, Freedmania. They were playing Croxa, which was not that's not the way that the 5-0 decks from the deck dumps were playing that deck. Deck. But it was clearly a different construction, sort of from the ground up. But yeah, Underwater Bimbo did well in both challenges with Grixis Luris, but they were playing a different configuration of the deck. We're definitely gonna mulligan this hand. Yeah, Roy, we got beat up by that Delver deck in game 2 and 3. They got us, which is fine. You know, you get got sometimes. This hand kind of sucks, but the mana is really stable, so I'm just hoping to draw some kind of action as we go forward. I want some level of card quantity against their all attrition deck. If they have removal on my birds, I just get to play the Savai Triome. Really? You gonna do me like that again, Tybalt? You butt munch. You no talent ass clown. You're just like Michael Bolton. Well, Spike had an insight into that Luris Sultai deck that it makes total sense to me after I played it, which is that it had no closing power. And he's put in a bunch of Tarmogoyfs, which I fully agree with. Everyone's just used to control decks having planeswalkers. I guess. I mean, back when I was playing Grixis Control, it was like 1 to 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors, and that was it. So it's crazy to me to look at how the entire format and so many archetypes in it have totally shifted to like these hyper value piles rather than being mostly 1-for-1s with like a couple of cards that could actually generate you value. But that's been fire design, right? Like it's just given every color so many cards that generate 2-for-1s. Back in the day, Grixis Control was like 3K coms, 4 cryptic commands, and those were the only cards that were 2-for-1s. That's it. The whole rest of your deck was all 1-for-1s, and you just sort of picked them apart as best you could and hoped that it was good enough. Are you showing? Why did you pass the turn? Okay, whatever. I wouldn't say creamed, Roy. I mean, we got barely squeezed out, but, you know. We did get beat. Not gonna lie. No, they never played an Awoken Horror. It was just a Delver and a Terramander in game 2 and then 3. Do they have a Drown for this voice? They don't. They're going to be able to flip this Jace next turn. Yeah, recurring Ice Fangs with Luris is something I've been high on since the original Luris era. The original Companion era. The 4-color Astrolabe Luris deck. Oh, so sweet. Mm-hmm. I think my voice is gonna die. I don't have double green in play. So if I want to play Eternal Witness, I have to allow them to drown it. which I don't love. So I think before I do anything else, we're just going to try to attack down this Jace. Push or drown stop me here? No. Drown can't stop me right now from killing this Jace. So they need push, but then they need to push the elemental, which doesn't do it. Snap won't do it. Yeah, I can't think of anything they've shown us that will actually stop me here. Night, Mike. Take care. Perfect. Okay, so I'll probably just add Uriah into my hand. Fetch tap land here. I don't feel particularly pressured. I'll just gain some value. They drowned my elemental. Nailed it, by the way. Did I freaking call that they had drowned in their hand? I believe that I did. So if I had played a witness into it, that would have been not so good. Doesn't even bother getting their Luris. Interesting. Well, I think we'll attack first. Well, it wasn't misery though, but Roy, because I called it, I was able to avoid the misery, which was great. And I'm like shockingly close to being able to cast Tybalt again, huh? All right. I'll settle. Yeah, and Roy, I do not know how to describe to you like how it feels to have the training weights off with Moto right now. Like I'm up 5 minutes on clock. It feels insane. Insane. Also, at some point, I need to show you metal drummer Gene Hoglan's some of his DVD, The Atomic Clock, because he does train with weights on, and it's very interesting to see, and then watch when he actually pulls them off. Because it's funny because like he's such a goofball that he no, I just switched broadcasting software, Freed. I switched from Streamlabs OBS to OBS Studio today, and it's crazy. It's crazy how different it is. It feels like it's taking up like 1/10 the processing. I did not get an OBS sponsorship. But OBS, if you're watching, hit me up, brother. Have your people call my people. My people is Roy. Don't be afraid. He's actually really nice. I mean, I don't really want to get into a whole thing about that, Barwick, but I really don't think that that's a big problem. Those were not particularly playable cards in most formats. And I don't really want to go down the road of saying, well, they're part of Magic's history and therefore they should never ever be touched and they can't be wrong. Or that we can correctly contextualize how wrong they were. I mean, Richard Garfield literally changed the name of one of his second or third games that he ever made from Jihad to Vampire the Eternal Struggle pretty effortlessly in the 90s. Yeah. Well, we should burn more statues. There's plenty of statues that are horribly inappropriate. Oh, we don't have to burn them, but... Whoa, I mean... Roy, I think that was an overstretch. I don't... That's your response? Holy crap. Apologize for that, Barwick. No. I mean, I don't disagree. Listen, it's easier for us to have opinions on things like that. Other people have family and friends who are involved in countries that have genocides perpetrated by people who had statues made in their honor. So it's kind of like it's just a different deal. Anyway, not the time or place. Yeah, no, I understand that they couldn't counter Urian. I was just commenting on the fact that it was really sad that they had to drown my Witness as a response to my Urian that was going to draw me 3 cards and pick up a card with Witness. Their best thing was like, you don't get to, you don't get to get the card back with Witness. Did Rich Shea leave the game? Dr. Rich Shea? It's crazy talk. Huh. I had no idea. Okay, so we could cast this Valki. But I don't know, I like crushing this poor Grixis value deck with an overwhelming value. It seems like poetic justice, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I guess this is not gonna work out for me once I moon, but that will. They have 3 lands here that are going to become mountains, which is more than they want. They could Steam Vents my Vista in response here. Or not Steam Vents, field it. Okay, they're going to drown the Magus. This is fine. This is very fine. Okay, then. You got it, opponent. Let's fetch out my Blast Forest and get this Sprawl in play now. Just to be mana efficient. I'll throw it on black. I don't actually have any black sources in play, and I've got more than enough of most of the other colors. I guess I'm a little shy on white if there is a Blood Moon, but I'm not super worried about it. It's a bold attack. Should have sent a dragon. I'm so interested. Please now bolt my wall. Okay. You got it. Alright. So they have 1 mana open. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I play another mana, I have 9, so I can beat their Spell Pierce, and this card is fortunately not blue. I don't know if I can beat this one. Certainly not at this point. Maybe their last 2 cards are Force Negation? Force blue card? Although they just pitched a blue card, so they had to have a second blue card and opt into the Force. Use the Force, Grixis player. Corey Burkhart has inspired you. I've been there, brother. I've been there, brother. Freed, I hope you have a beautiful hand with an opening Amulet of Vigor, and someone spell pierces you. Oh my god, miscast. Oh my god, miscast. Can we remember when people thought that card might get played in Modern? I'm not, again, Roy, I appreciate you and Brian and Jiggy all for being more open-minded than me. Maybe it's because I've been playing Magic for way too goddamn long. There's just so many cards I see and I'm like, this is never gonna make it. There's just no way. This poor little card is just not. You sweet little muffin. Could be terrifying out of the board. The problem with miscast particularly is Spell Pierce and Mystical Dispute totally eat its lunch. So I just have very, very little faith. Do I just go Witness Chain here? I think I've got an abundant growth in my exile pile, so let's just grab Urian and threaten insane greater value. Also, Tybalt's ready to ult next turn and just steal their whole graveyard, which sounds fantastical. Yeah, even Flusterstorm's better. Well, so, but the idea of miscast is like, oh, well, maybe it was for standard, and the problem with that was I think it's in the same block in standard as Mystical Dispute. So it's like, nope. It's gonna rotate at the same time, so that doesn't matter. All right, let's go get a mountain. Then we got red, white. That's not green. This could be blue, white. Yeah, whatever. I think I'll feed Omnath into the wood chipper here. Oh, that's a sprawl. All right, whatever. Enjoy, opponent. Please, counter my Omnath. They field me? Oh no! Oh no! I guess I should update my deck to add Tybalt. I never thought I'd say those words 1 year ago. Well, nobody thought there'd be a standard playable Tybalt, much less two, as there have been in the last couple of years. So that's pretty wild, Barwick. I mean, none of us knew there would be a pandemic, and none of us knew there would be a playable Tybalt. It did, Roy. It did, because it hoses life gain, and in standard that was relevant. It was also a very reasonable draft card, because it was an uncommon. I mean, among other things. All right, I would like all these graveyards. Thank you. Yeah, it was a mono-red sideboard card. It took the place of Rampaging Ferocidon. Do-do-do-do. 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 Baubles. All right, so Tybalt was a draw 3 at worst. Seems good. Feels good. Feels good. Archmage's Charm, you got it. Boy, howdy, opponent. You sure got me good. I had a BTL, right? There it is. Wait, my Tibolt's already in play. What am I going to do with this? I guess I'm just going to get Resto. Flicker my... that'll work. Get a Resto, flicker my Witness, pick up the Omnath. For the BTL. Alright, opponent's going down to 0 cards in hand. They've got a plan, baby! Uh-huh. Did they fuck up? I don't understand what's happening here. I'm okay with it. I just don't know what's happening. I keep saying Urian instead of Urian. Urian or Yorian? Urian? Give it the old dive down treatment? Oh, I should have attacked first. Whatever. I have a bolt waiting to put them to 1. So I'm very much okay with pick up the Omnath. I've got 3 opts, a bolt, 2 snapcasters. Not they're particularly useful here. And an Eternal Witness waiting. Well, they're still at 4, so I can't kill them with the bolt. They conceded. Rats. Opponent, come back. I hadn't finished killing you. Alright. So, we've played against 2 mediocre blue-red decks. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. You're absolutely right, Freed. Yeah. No, I mean, I mentioned it. Yeah, I should have attacked them before I did what I did. But as we all know, I'm bad. Alright. So I can get Savai Triome plus Temple Garden. And have double white plus mana for almost everything in the deck. I'm going to keep it. It's not great against a non-Luris deck, but I'm hoping it works out. Charming Prince can also scry us into uh-oh. Uh-oh. Take the Auriok Champion. Take the Auriok Champion. Take the Auriok Champion. Take the Auriok Champion. Take the... Just get out of here. I don't give a fuck about that card. I don't give a flip. Flying or otherwise. I maybe should plan for Blood Moon happening to me. Since they took the Auriok Champion, I get to... It is Roy because it was the card that was going to make my mana the most restrictive in a bad way. So Black Cleave Cliffs... Sorry, I didn't explain this. So Black Cleave Cliffs means this is probably black-red mid-range, not any of the shadow decks. So I want to have the ability to try to play around a Blood Moon here. Additionally, if it's some kind of like Mardu pile, wow, that's yes, yep. Yeah, that's those. Yep, those are cards I want in the order I want them. Could be Jund. It could be Jund. I guess it could be Jund. Okay, they take the voice, so I don't have a play this turn. If it's Jund, I'm like a little more concerned, but generally not. We should be able to outgrind Jund. They took Bring to Light. So they don't have an Inquisition. I'm guessing black-red mid-range. Or Mardu. In either case, I'm not upset where we're at right now. So Liliana or Blood Moon? Pyramid. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they were just worried about the power of my potential endgame coming up soon. I don't know. For the moment, I'm going to assume semi-defensive posture. Didn't want to voice attack and Ewit it back. No, I'm more concerned about mana right now, Barwick. I'm more concerned about going way over the top of them. I don't want to fight down here in the mud with the Mardu deck. I would like, or even black-red mid-range. That's fine. Yes, please. Please attack me. They do have a 4/4 Magmatic Channeler, but I am largely unconcerned. Command might get to shine. I would like the ability to fetch enough red to be able to cast the Kiki-Jiki, which I can do. Have to that should have been this should have been Sacred Foundry. I'm gonna resto my Witness while they're tapped down. I can resto my Prince and then Prince my Witness. That doesn't do anything extra. I don't think that it does. Anyway, this is for a land drop anyway. Sorry, Barwick. I'm very interested in increasing my mana to 5. We're taking a defensive posture here, and we're going to attempt to combo kill them with Kiki-Jiki. Oh, no problem. Oh, baby! Dive down, Shane, with a party of 8.
You can run, but you can't glide.
It's a party of 8. I don't remember what Party of 3 sounds like. Good song, though. Well, howdy there, Mr. Halo Bender. Team Jokeraya. There we go. I knew I'd gotten that one before. Oh, they attack with their 4/4. I could have traded my Elemental for it, but I just took 4 damage because I wasn't paying attention. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're definitely not going to die. I mean, they offered me the... Oh, they would have pushed my Prince and then won the combat anyway. All right. See? See? Big brain over here. Not blocking that. Okay, so the only card in my deck that I need blue mana for is Teferi, and Omnath. And I don't have a blue-red land to get in case I top deck the Kiki-Jiki. So... it's a Breeding Pool or another red source. Breeding Pool means I could BTL for 4 anyway, so that doesn't matter. There's 4 Teferis. There's 3 Bring to Lights. Yeah, it's worth getting blue. There's 1 Kiki-Jiki. There's only 1 Kiki-Jiki, so if I draw exactly Kiki-Jiki right now, see? See? It's totally fine. Don't even worry about it. Ain't no bout a doubt it. Ain't no bout a doubt it. All right. That's great because I needed the second white anyway. And then we'll grab my Snake Noodle. Noodly boy. And I'll attack for 3. Why not? I don't need this many blockers. What do I need? What do I need over here? Infinite blockers? Some kind of scrub. Don't Thoughtseize me. You already did it twice. It's not fair. Liliana's fine. Blood Moon is acceptable. Very much so. Wow. Attack with all? Yeah. Oh boy. Am I going to go down to 6 for this gigantic set of triggers? Yes, absolutely. They've already played a Bolt. They have a Crocs in their graveyard. They don't have enough mana to get it. And this Uriah. Well, hello, Omnath. Hey, baby. I ain't seen you in a minute. Although you can't gain me any life right now. So Uriah is infinitely better. Omnath. You right. You right. So let's put in a 5. And then we're casting Uriah, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. I mean, ripping the Omnath there was sick anyway, so I'm not upset. Gee, do I get any value? What? They said, man, nice top deck. But I actually had the island before. Well, I could repeat it. I meant to slide the resto. Hopefully it won't matter. I guess I could slide it through their turn. I'm not going to worry about it. I got distracted by my opponent typing at me. Let's grab the Primal Command. Can't imagine they end up getting this here, especially because I went to gain life. We've got 7 power and flyers, a ludicrously chonky board, and they only have the 3 mana, so should be all right here, even though we made multiple small misplays. Okay, they don't have a second black. They do have a Chandra. Bye, Resto. I assume. Why didn't I flicker Angel? Because I'm bad. Didn't click on it. My opponent was talking about how lucky I was top decking when I hadn't top decked, so I decided that that was worth my time and effort, which it was not. So I can play Teferi into Omnath this turn. I mean, I'm just hitting them with Uriah down to 1. If I bounce one of their ground creatures... No, my creatures are all on the ground too, except for Uriah. Yeah. No, I'm not terribly concerned about what they can do from this point. White, red, blue, green. No, white, red, blue, green. Okay, cool. We can do Teferi and Omnath. Yeah, we can. Hey, JK Torborg. Played your first few matches on MTGO with Amulet. That's awesome, friend. I hope you had a good time. Oh, it's very much a thing. We're also going to cast Primal Command this turn if they let us. And put them to 1. So, that was kind of great. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That's so ratchet.
Oh, thanks, JK Torborg. That's really the biggest thing that anyone could ever do for me right now. That's huge, dude. Thank you very, very much. Oh, good human. Good humans. All right. Do I want Staticaster against Seasoned Pyromancer? I don't really think so. No. We'll see if they play... Oh, and Path against Croxa could be good. I don't really want Kor Firewalker because it doesn't have pro black against their deck. Auriok Champion could be okay. Knight is not good. Definitely don't want Magus. Oh, Knight could be okay. They are playing Blood Moon. Go down on Teferis, probably. Yeah, Linvala is not Linvala is specifically for the Heliod matchup. I can't imagine what else I would really want Linvala for. Oh, Hardened Scales. It does not turn off Captain Chest in the graveyard. Roy, the distinction you want to look for there is the word creatures versus creature cards. So if a card says creature, if a card says artifact, if a card says land, if a card says enchantment, it means in play. If it says enchantment cards, if it says enchantment spells, enchantment cards will be all zones, and enchantment spells will mean on the stack. All right. Exactly, yeah. But you can't Nimble Obstructionist through a Overwhelming Splendor. There's the even weirder thing, though, that, like, if a card says, return this card from your graveyard to your hand, it works because it can only work the way it says it works. Which is, like, that to me, that is one of the most egregious uses of the rule system that has ever been. That is, like, almost as offensive as the reminder text on sagas. I hate the reminder text on sagas so much. I think I want white-green? Yeah. I have a second land to cantrip next turn, so let's just go voice. The Wooded Foothills can get me the Mardu Triome, the Savai Triome. Which will also be my second. Light Beetle! That's a card you could be playing? Yeah. I'm not blocking that thing. Nope. No, I am not. I do not know what to do about that. I mean, I wouldn't say that's entirely true, JK Torborg. I mean, the Enduring Ideal decks have been making modern challenge top 32s for months. Not consistently on the same pace as other decks, but like consistency on the pace of about once a month. Which, I mean, that's not bad for that archetype. You know? I would say that's a lot better than a lot of other archetypes that have, you know, ever existed in Modern. That's a hell of a hit rate. Yeah, because the JK Torborg, they're usually playing things like Lotus, Bloom, and what's the other card they love playing that is fairly nonsensical? It is Silence. The really, I assume, the very talented players of the Enduring Ideal archetype are very good at figuring out how to get their Enduring Ideal to resolve on turn 4 or 5 and get their one super relevant
Compadres, it is imperative that we crush the freedom fighters before the start of the rainy season. And remember, a shiny new donkey for whoever brings me the head of Colonel Montoya.
All right, I figured out how to do that. Thank you for the follow, Squeller Time. Notification is much louder than I am. Okay. I have no idea how I'll be able to fix that, Roy, but we'll figure it out, or die trying. Much? Oh, I'm really sorry, folks, if it's, I'm going to refer to it as disturbing, but disruptive. Let's say disruptive. So if we go Resto Angel on end step into land draw, it could be game over. Startling? Okay. Big apologies, folks. No, well, I don't want to get into details. You just all have the volume on full. That's fair. Hold on. I know this is here. I wonder if I can. No. The question is, how is it playing sounds? Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to figure that out, but. Okay, we'll ditch the Wall of Blossoms. So, I have a Skyclave in my hand, so if I don't draw the mana I need for the Bring to Light this turn, we can just Skyclave the Kroxa, and in the meantime, we'll Resto Angel to draw a card. It's not that bad. I hope not. But I do apologize for any bumpiness with this stream, guys. It is a huge upgrade to my quality of life right now, and I promise I will get any kinks worked out that benefit the quality of life for you guys. Perfect. And now we have Veil up, so even if they have removal for any of my stuff, we'll be okay here. Volume's about right for you, JK? All right. I know people definitely have different sensibilities about volume. I don't want to get into a whole thing about it. Hey, Daniel from Brazil. Hope things are going well for you. Let's let this be a fatal push. Fatal push? Yeah, buddy. Oh my god. The blowout. Oh, yeah. Opponent calls. Oh. How many Magic games can be won by just having a flying creature? A surprisingly large number. Resto Angel's coming for you. Oh, yeah. Bustin' makes me feel good. That looks like that's really loud, too, in the mixer. All right. So... So it looks like my desktop's... Oh my god! I'm so sorry, folks. I'm sorry, folks. No. Alright. Here, let me play it again. This is the volume it's supposed to be. Which is probably a lot quieter. But what happened was when I had Pi Gonti on, I had to crank my desktop volume because that's the only way I can get Discord coming in. No, this wasn't an issue with the new software at all. That was an issue. That was a human error, user error right there. Because when I had Pygonti on, I had to turn up the desktop to get Discord coming in properly at the right volume. So there we go. Figured it out. Am idiot. So if we hadn't lost to that blue-red goofy Delver deck, we would be in a beautiful spot here. So that's awesome. Big fan of that one. Ooh, good use of that plug there, Roy. Good use of that plug. Love that. Love that. Bing! All right. Hand seems solid. It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Show me the Tron deck. Opponents on the Tronic. Hitting it hard, baby. Oh, yeah. I mean, Gonti, Lord of Luxury is a pretty cool card, Roy. Oh, they're showing me the Tronic. Opponents on that good shit. What a fucking opening hand. Oh, it's Badtron. All right. Chalice me, baby. Chalice me hard. No? All right. All right. Hopefully they don't have one of them there dismembers, because that would be a little bit unfortunate. If they're playing the version from the recent successful challenge list, they'll have 4 dismembers, which is not so good for me. But so the reason I fetched the Temple Garden here is just preparing for the worst. If they do have removal from my Magus immediately, I would like to have double white coming up. Badtron, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when the Magus you? Badtron, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when the moon's for you? Oh! They're gonna have Natty Wastes. Natty Wastes. What you gonna do when the moon for you? Register Badtron, it's a big mistake. Oh, they fetched the wastes, Roy. The thing that I said they drew naturally. They did it. I'm just dumb. All right. So I have the option to Knight or Teferi this turn. Teferi generates consistent value. The Knight will definitively destroy. Yeah, bouncing the Mind Stone's where I'm at. Oh my god, you're still lucky, opponent. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I'd rather bounce the Mind Stone, just because it chokes up their mana a lot more next turn. And then they can play the Mind Stone and sack the map next turn, but then we can at least destroy the Mind Stone. And whatever the map gets is not really going to advance their board position too much. They could have Thought-Knot Seer this turn. Not super concerned about it. Magus is doing work. Magus is doing work. No Thought-Knot Seer. Matter Shaper? Could be. Nope. And if I Knight their Mind Stone this turn, they can sack it to draw a card, but they can't also map, which is probably where I want to be. But first we make attack. So I've got white, green, and then I've got another green here. So let's go. Let's cast this first. See what we pick up. It's not weird to say you miss Simian Spirit Guide. I mean, Simian Spirit Guide made this format a very different place. And there are decks that had value to people that are no longer extant. I think I'd rather destroy the Mind Stone. Yeah, because I can't. Yeah, exactly. No, there's nothing wrong with missing Simian Spirit Guide. I am happier with Modern with it gone. I am less happy with Uro gone. I am less happy with... Actually, Mystic Sanctuary I might be okay with being gone. You can still turn 1 Blood Moon. It's just a lot harder. Like, not a little harder. On the dive down today, they mentioned that the only way to turn 1 Chalice now is with Gemstone Caverns, which is very much not true. My boy Chancellor of the Tangle getting thrown under the bus there. And I will tell you, I am fairly certain that Chancellor of the Tangle might be the best way. Am I just getting Valki here? Probably just getting Valki here. I don't know how they're going to beat that at this point. And I can activate it. So, you know, let's do that. Let's, I don't know. Let's win. Red, just a bad Tron, gonna be a mistake. Playing bad Tron, you don't catch no break. Yay! Yeah, that was the real motivation, Roy, is when I figured out I could draw a card by doing it. So I want Fulminator. I think I want Crumble. I don't think I want much else. Champion can bite it. Fiery Justice is like... maybe. But probably not. Yeah, I think that's it. Scooze is probably okay. No, Scooze is probably the worst one of in the deck. I guess I could cut a Voice, but Voice is a much better Eldritch target. Alright, let's go. Let's go, baby. I want everyone to know that I just launched my task manager whilst streaming, and it actually opened. And I'm just blown away by my luck. I can't even. Although it won't show me what's eating up so much. What the hell? Interesting. Anyway. Not luck, just skill. Well, this hand is something. Something pretty good, though. Turn 2 Skyclave. Sets me up reasonably well for the rest of the game. It's like a painful hand, but we've got a cantrip. Oh, Last God, that's rough. I mean, to be fair, I've been playing Magic a long time. I know Fiery Justice is a sorcery, but if it was a new card, I might have read it as an instant. Just because it's 3 colors and it gives your opponent such a huge upside. Like, the number of limited combat tricks that I've tried to play as instants when they were sorceries is really bad. Like, really bad. There's a card from RTR that I will never forget. It's it like detains your opponent's creature, and it detains your opponent's creature, and you draw a card, and well, it might be the person's first time playing with the format. Like, maybe they played Fiery Justice as an instant all day. Because usually PPTQs, when a limited format is in a competitive REL tournament, the limited format is usually very new. So, and if it has cards that don't come up that often, because you got to remember, Fiery Justice is, what is it, an uncommon in this set? And it's in Naya colors, so it's, like, pretty hard to cast. Maybe most people don't even, you know, I'm just saying, like, it's very reasonable that that could happen. And, you know, if someone tries to do that, you call the judge and you nail them for it. If they've been doing it all day, then they're fucked. But if that's, you know. Kavu Predator plus Fiery is the Wombo combo. It's the Wambo Cambo. They took my boy, but I drew Teferi to make up for it, so it's okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. That really sucks, last guide. Yeah, it sounds like you got scummed, which is, yeah, not a good feeling. I'm really sorry that happened to you. I mean, there's only so much we can do to prevent things like that. Judges can't be everywhere, even though we'd like to be. Yeah, I mean, that's the only way to protect yourself. And it just sucks that someone like that can ruin it for other people. But at the same time, I mean, people like me will make innocent mistakes where we'll read a card and we'll be like, well, why would a detain card not be an instant? That would be insane. And of course, and of course it was not. So blue, green, white. Yeah, I can't quite cast Omnath without playing this land first. But then next turn I could go Witness into fetch land. So that seems pretty damn good. I have Resto and Kiki in my hand. I just need to get the red mana together. Next turn, if I just draw a fetch land with Omnath in play, I have red, and if I fetch red, that's the last red plus Resto plus the mana from Omnath, and we just win the game. So let's fucking go, baby. All right. That one is fine. I will take that draw. Resto Angel plus Ewit is... I'm in. I'm in, baby. Let's get this value trainer rolling. But Roy, then you met me. Wasn't it all worth it? I'm kidding. Yeah, but I mean that's just generally true about most things that have experiential gain. Current you would kick young you's ass at life, and the fact that you would kick young you's ass at Magic should be no surprise. Okay, let's draw a land. It's not a land. It is a Skyclave though. It's almost better. Yeah, this is I like this play. GDS with Storming and Morphos. Neat. Yeah, all right. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. They've been stuck on lands. He said, allowing them to draw the land that gets the Smasher into play. Yep. Okay. We're okay. We're not dead yet. Only mostly dead. Mostly dead is slightly alive. I don't have triple red, which is concerning. But I'm damn close. Oh, I can witness for a fetch land to fix that? Yeah, I can. All right, so let's go witness. Pick up a fetch, play the fetch. The fetch gets me the last red I need into the resto. So if they tap out this turn, it's just over. Even with Ghost Quarter backing them up. All right. What's my favorite MTG god? Ooh, man, that's a crazy question. I mean, I gotta say Corona the False God, right? Because not only is that the most boomer answer ever, well, fuck. Shit. All right, results. But she makes the damn good beer. They took the Kiki. Go figure. So, Flicker Witness here. Pick up Omnath. Should be helpful. And then I'm going to take this opportunity to go group block with Resto and Witness. If they have Dismember, this is really going to suck. But if they don't have a Dismember, this is big game for me. Opponent concedes to my grotesque value. Scarab God's good. Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh, big fan of that one. I like Hazaret, mostly because it's competitively exceptional. Let's see, if we're talking Theros gods, I mean, Caranus, the red-blue one, God of Storms. Keranos, yeah, Keranos. Big fan of Keranos. Trying to think of the other planes that have had gods. Amonkhet, which we covered. Theros. I know there's at least one more. Oh, Kaldheim. Is there any god from Kaldheim I really like? I don't think so. Tybalt. False god. No, dude, I chose Corona. Corona might be the first, like, quote-unquote god that was featured in Magic, period, so. Am I keeping this? Seems really low-powered in the dark. No companion. Opponent snaps off their 7. Oh, the mana's not awful. Alright, let's go. This is not a hand I love, but... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well... I mean, God is a creature type. Corona might have one in it might have been updated with one. No, it's just an avatar. Well, that was a good top deck. Well, I retrospectively, I think they should errata Corona to be Natty Tron, baby. Don't mess with the house. Don't mess with the house. All right, we're not winning that game. The house always wins. There we go. The house always wins. Mono green Tron on the play snaps off a 7. Not winning that one. All right. Fulminator. Crumble. Maybe some paths? Are there enough cards in this deck that are god-awful in the matchup? No, probably not. So it's just like Auriok Champion and Skyclave out. Skyclave gets Teferi 4. Oh, Teferi 3 is generally poor. I think we don't really need Path, though, to beat things like Wormcoil. No Collector Oof. Linvala would shut down Walking Ballistas, but that's it. Yeah, I think we're okay here. Yeah, it might be Eldrazi and Taxes Barwick, which is definitely a... If they're playing white mana in their Eldrazi deck, that's Eldrazi and Taxes. Well, we got turn 2 Magus, which is a thing. I guess I'll keep. Eidolon slows them down. Yeah, you're right, Freed. I probably had room to bring that in. The green with red, white. These both should get basics. I would like to have double green for Witness, although it doesn't do overly much for me. Double white is just the Skyclaves. Double green is just better. Either way, I'm putting this on red here. Am I? Yeah. Feel super tilted if we lose this game? Not really, because it'll just mean they had Dismember for my Magus, and they'll just get to do it on turn 2 rather than doing it on turn 5. Like, I even when we open on Magus in this kind of matchup, I don't feel particularly advantaged. My real question is, should I just like Witness for another fetch drop this turn because it lets me get more mana set up before they shut me down. I think that's what I want to do. Because, like, waiting one turn with the Magus just doesn't matter. Yeah. So this gets my mana set up better pre-moon. Yeah, I agree with you, Roy. That's what I'm saying is like, but also the speed with which we can usually put a Magus into play is just not good enough, generally speaking. This deck is just weak to green Tron on a good start. And that's just a fact. So it's nothing to be worried about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really going to be upset if we lose, you know? No surprise. And the natural Tron. And Karn to take my land with the Sprawl on it. Because they're not stupid. Yep. Alright. This is the best / luckiest Tron player I've played against in a long time. Which is fine. I'm not complaining about it. Just is the fact of the matter. They had turn 3 Karn both games naturally. Not a single fetching effect that was particularly relevant. And they had the Dismember. So no problem there. So if we hadn't lost that very close match against that blue-red Delver deck, if I had sideboarded correctly, we would have had a better shot in that game. Not that we drew any of the cards that I think I necessarily would have sideboarded out, like 1-1. But it was like a 4-1. I mean, on paper, we actually got the 3-2. But it was very close to a 4-1. We got stomped by Green Tron, but we did well against Eldrazi Tron there. So this deck is very impressive. Last night when I 5-0'd, I played 3 games in every single match. Tonight we had a lot more 2-0 sweeps, which particularly speaks to how good this deck is against blue fair decks and black mid-range decks. That was like the whole, like a huge block of what we played against there, as well as Eldrazi Tron. Because most of our 1-drops get to come out ahead of a turn 2 Chalice, or we will feel very incentivized to play them out, and most of them we don't get overly hurt by having to wait a couple turns on them. And we have 5 main decked quote unquote answers for the Chalice, as well as 4 Teferis, so we can at least get the Chalice off the board for a turn if we need to vomit out some of our 1-drops. So certainly reasonably well positioned for that matchup. I'm still not totally convinced on the value of Primal Command. I have no particular suggestion on what I would play over it. Maybe just like Acidic Slime or something like that. Which obviously doesn't fill the same role at all. But it's just the first thing that comes to my mind is like another 5-drop would be worth playing. Someone was saying something about Niv Mizzet way earlier. Oh, is Larynx Punchworthy? There's a huge number of monocolored cards in this deck. Eladamri's Call. I'd rather have more Eldritch Evolutions or Chord of Callings. Unless you're talking about the replacement for the 1-of Primal Command. If I was going to have a replacement for the 1-of Primal Command, I would want it to be something of a bigger effect. You go run 1 Primal Command in Niv and Historic. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I really don't. Like, this card is fine. We didn't have to cast it at any point tonight, but it is quite good, and you get 2 effects out of it that are reasonably powerful, reasonably costed at 5 CMC. So I'm just not, I'm not convinced one way or the other about it. So changes I would make to this deck. I don't think the Auriok Champion is necessary. Most of the other silver bullets are pretty damn good. I have no particular idea what I would swap the Auriok Champion for. Maybe a 3rd Omnath. I don't know. there's a lot of wonderful things we could be playing instead in all sorts of these colors. More Witnesses, more Eldritch Evolution. I mean, all of these things have some very reasonable value. Yeah. Anywho, that is going to be it for me tonight, because I edited a podcast today. The new episode of Serum Visions should be up tomorrow. So I'm sending y'all over to raid the one and only Fluffy Wolf. So hopefully y'all enjoy his content. I will be back tomorrow with 2 decks starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST, Eastern Standard Time. So come on back, check it out. Hopefully this upgrade to the quality of my stream on my end translates into quality on your end. And we had our wonderful guest on earlier, Pygonti, so you can check that out. That replay of the sort of deck talk that we did should go up on YouTube. And if you like this video and you are in the future on the YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Check out any other videos you like, and I'll see you there. And for everyone alive, have a wonderful night. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy Fluffy's stream.